we are gonna lose this tournament together. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
Okay, today we have some of the funniest Marvel Rivals beef / drama that I may have ever seen in my life. I'm talking about, I was up at 2:30 in the morning watching a Who Kobe VOD like this. Just now, first, obviously, I gotta set the scene, right? So I think it was 2 days ago on the 3rd, right? There was a Spider-Man tournament for like a bunch of Spider-Man players, and then I think that there was also some non-Spider-Man players in there as well. But they had like 18 or like 12 Spider-Man players, and they were doing like a tournament ran by DayMR. But I gotta introduce us to our 3 main characters. Yo, give it up for our main characters. Give it up for our main characters. Because number 1, we got Entei X Blaze. I learned about Entei X Blaze through Pokemon. And Entei came into the Pokemon community with some pretty interesting takes that nobody was agreeing with. And then on top of that, he was like acting like he'd been part of the community when there was like some things going around the like certain drama, not like drama, but like certain takes were going around the community that were like just getting super weird and controversial. I mean, it wasn't even that serious. It was about Pokemon, I'm not gonna lie. Niggas did not fuck with him, and I think quite a few people ended up just like blocking him or whatever. I just remember seeing a bunch of hate videos about him because he was acting like he's been part of the TikTok community of Pokemon for a long time. Not true. Niggas did not know your name in the streets until recently. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I got my ear to the street, so it's like, I don't know. I personally have no problem with him because I think like it's Pokemon. Anyway, our second character of the day, you might know him, Lucky Zeal. All right, he's a pretty big creator. He's also a Spider-Man player as well. Oh wait, I forgot to mention that Entei does not play Spider-Man, but Lucky Zeal is a good Spider-Man. And our last character of the day, all right. Our last main character of the day, Mark Deasy. That nigga OTF. I don't care how you slice it. Mark Deasy. He known, you know, I think for his Captain America, right? So, on tournament day, there was a draft. Entei X Blaze was a team leader, giving him the ability to draft other people out of like the pool of Spider-Man players, I think, right? Because I remember a little bit later in this scenario, Lucky Zeal brings up how there was 12 other Spider-Man he could have picked, but we'll get into why that happens in a second. But some important background information is that Entei X Blaze and Lucky Zeal do not like each other. I'm pretty sure they're banned out of each other's chats. They just don't fuck with each other. They've had beef. I think, I want to say Entei called him chopped and fat and all types of other shit. Hey, but if you just take a look at Entei's VOD while the draft is happening, you can see a little light bulb go off in his head, right? He has the ability to draft a Spider-Man player. Lucky Zeal is a Spider-Man player that's in the pool to be drafted. This is where Mark Deasy comes to play, because Entei X Blaze starts kind of like laughing to himself on his stream, right? It's very obvious he's about to do something interesting. All of a sudden, in Mark Deasy's chat, you can see Entei X Blaze type, yo, check Discord DMs, I got an idea. And then, you know, I think Mark Deasy goes and checks, and he's like,
say this, yo, Mark, you gonna pick, you know what? Entei, I was thinking about it just to really troll niggas, but no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing it.
We're gonna storm through this now.
That'd be funny as hell, though.
is going to be honest, I think the other
Check Discord DMs, yes or no? Hey, look, I ain't got no comment about that, brother, but I mean, you could do that. You could do that. Actually, yeah. No, I'm not a part of this. I'm not a part of this. That's on you, bro.
Then 30 seconds later, Mark Deasy says, actually, yeah, do that. Yeah, do that. This is why we're about to get into why he is in OTF. Lucky Zeal gets drafted by Entei X Blaze, even though they don't like each other, which he makes a statement about later. Now, mind you, this tournament is a 6 Spider-Man versus 6 other Spider-Man tournament. That's what it's supposed to be. It's like an arcade type tournament. It was very interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Entei Blaze and Lucky Zeal's team lose with the swiftness. I'm gonna be honest, like they literally got packed. Now, Entei X Blaze's performance in this tournament was honestly not that great, right? You know, as he says, he doesn't play Spider-Man, which, you know, true, I suppose. He had like 3 kills in the last match. And then a little bit later after this tournament, Lucky Zio drops a TikTok kind of outlining exactly what I've been talking about, just in less detail, showing that Entei went into Mark's chat and pretty much painted him as a thrower.
Shibi, you called it out. It was a good prediction. I knew.
Yo, you mean to tell me the person that recently just stabbed me in the back is in his chat laughing at the fact that he drafted me because he intentionally knows that he's gonna run down my shit? That's just lame as fuck. Mind you, by the way, Entei, you know we're not cool. You know all the things you said about me, calling me chopped and shit. I mean, there's a reason why you literally have me blocked on TikTok right now.
We are gonna lose this tournament together. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
Lucky Zio believed that he was only chosen to be on Entei's team by Entei to throw his match just because they have some beef going on. So last night, Lucky Zio, Entei Blaze, Colin, Hukovi, and a couple other people join up into Lucky Zio's stream and into his Discord. Because Lucky went live, kind of pretty much trying to expose Entei, and he called in a couple people saying like, yo, look at this, and, you know, wanted their opinion on what was going on. He also wanted to take a statement and not argue maybe, but find some form of answer from Entei about what happened. And honestly, this is where the fun began. I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm getting giddy just looking at the Twitch VOD right now. Now, I can't speak on everybody's relationship to Entei X Blaze, but they are associated with them. I don't think these guys had any real problems with Entei. Only Zio did. So at first, honestly, they were kind of giving him a little bit of grace, trying to, you know, see his side a little bit until Lucky Zio showed everything, right? Okay, actually, I gotta make a bit of a correction. I'll go back and make sure that is corrected as well. Lucky actually posted that TikTok right as he went live. I'm 32 minutes into the VOD and it says he posted the TikTok 32 minutes ago. So he posted that TikTok right as he went live. So all the exposing happened at one time. Dang. They gave him no prep time. He can prepare no PR statement. Damn. Ain't in the cookie jar, nigga. Now, mind you, I think not too long ago, I think Lucky Zio and Mark DZ actually had some beef. And this adds a lot to what I'm about to say. So as everybody's sitting in Discord watching Lucky Zio kind of just go off and, you know, talk about Entei, and Entei's trying to like talk crazy back, they start realizing like the evidence adds up. Like it's really hard to refute this. And Entei is saying like he clipped everything out of context and he just went through the VOD to make him look bad, which I'm gonna be honest, bro, I don't think he did that. Now, during the back and forth, Lucky Zio asked him just one thing. Show me your Discord DMs between Mark DZ and yourself, and you can simply prove that you did not say that. Didn't say you were gonna throw. That's not what you said to Mark DZ. That's all Lucky Zio are trying to figure out.
Also, by the way, if you don't mind, would you mind showing the DMs between you and Mark DZ by any chance?
I'm not going into personal DMs.
Oh, you're not.
That's what we're here for.
You're not.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Oh, come on, Entei. Show us the Mark DMs.
Hashtag release the DMs.
Yeah, come on.
Is this nigga wildin'? No, I'm not going into my personal DMs with Mark. You wild.
Oh, you're not.
Come out. They
You're
caught
not.
us. They caught us.
Come on,
You want me to
Entei.
go into my personal number with Mark.
Entei does not show DMs because he claims that they were talking about personal stuff, and, you know, he was trying to say that, you know, he had some real personal family type issues going on, and he couldn't, you know, show what was in the DMs. But all he would truly have to do is just screenshot the non-personal part of the DMs if they existed. We can kind of assume at this point they exist. I feel like I'm Connor from Cyberlife trying to get all the clues and shit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he didn't have personal family stuff in those DMs, or maybe he had something truly going on that he was talking about. But if you just look at all the evidence, him going in Mark's chat, them laughing about whatever got said in DMs, and then him continuing to what seemed like throwing on Lucky Zio's team, it just kind of seems a little weird that you couldn't just screenshot a non-personal portion of your DMs. Or maybe like do something where you just don't have to show all of it, bro. You don't if there's really family stuff in there, you don't gotta show it. We know y'all in there talking about Marvel Rivals. It's super obvious. You wouldn't go in his chat and then be like, yo, check DMs. I'm cooking up something crazy, Lamo. You wouldn't say that if you were talking about something serious. But also, Mark DZ wouldn't have came into Entei's chat after the tournament ended for them and say, yo, you're the funniest MFer alive. That's a little weird, because now it's looking like because of Mark Deasy not liking Lucky Zeal already and Entei not liking Lucky Zeal as well, that he greenlit the idea for Entei to go throw his match. And when I tell you, I didn't see not a singular soul on Entei X Blaze's side through this entire thing. I'm talking his TikTok comments, his IG live was twerking. Everybody's chat except Mark Deasy. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, hell, Mark Deasy. Holy shit. I actually do fuck with him, though. He's hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. He's one of the best creators on that shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But his chat, I never seen Mark Deasy's chat disagree with him. I'm not trolling. This was true even like back in the day, like a year ago. I never seen Mark Deasy get turned against or get criticized by his own chat. I never seen it personally. But I was sitting there watching Hukovi's point of view, who was just kind of on the sidelines, but in the Discord call, right? And, you know, he's muting and just talking about the situation. He's like, he's fucking caught, like, just like cookie crumbs on his face, all that. Like, but it's true. Like, the evidence is just too obvious. And honestly, Entei really didn't help himself by, like, just tiptoeing around certain shit and then pushing really hard on irrelevant things. Like, it's just like, the lying was bad. And if he had no reason to lie, let's say he was just telling the truth, you know, he didn't throw. If that was true, all he would have to do is show the DMs and get his name full cleared. Like that was the easiest option. Or, you know, if it was so serious that he didn't want chats to see it, or, you know, for it to get leaked, he could have been like, okay, hide screen, I'll show you what I said, but you cannot show this portion on your screen because, you know, it's personal. That's another option. Now, I heard like Hukovi is somebody or people in the chat bringing up some form of funeral maybe, and I don't know, I personally didn't see those words.
So because
Why would
I had to
anybody
leave
believe
for
you?
a funeral later
Why
on
would
in the night,
anybody believe you,
I
Entei?
called HSP Productions and told them, hey, I need to sub. I didn't talk to anybody about what's going on in my personal life because that was personal, but I had to leave because I had to play at a funeral because a close relative of mine passed away.
And say, so then
That
if that was
the
the
reason why I had to
case,
leave early.
and say if that was the case, then
That's
you
the
would have not
reason.
been in the
And
tournament in the
only
first
reason I was
place.
there was because I was doing a favor for Day, but that's why I had to leave early.
The favor was to try to sabotage his tournament and fuck him over.
Oh, see, now here we go. Now we're talking about sabotage.
I don't
Like,
understand.
What are you talking about?
But I can't call you a liar. That's the one thing I can't do. You know, people are saying, oh, he's lying about, you know, having stuff going on. You can't say that for sure. I feel like that's a little crazy. And it didn't help that after they lost the last match that they were in of that tournament, that Entei X Blaze was muted, saying, looking at his camera, talking to his chat, talking about somebody's coming down with me, or no, he was said, you're coming down with me, I'm not going down alone. That's the type of shit he was saying. It was in Zeal's TikTok. That Entei X Blaze was muted, saying, looking at his camera, talking to his chat, talking about,
I'm not going down alone. I'm not going down alone. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious.
but we ain't done with Mark Deasy either, though, because a lot of people are going and realizing, like, Mark Deasy went and said, okay, go throw his match. I was low-key thinking about drafting him and doing a similar thing too. But he later went on to say he didn't care about the situation, even though he did talk about it a little bit and say some things about it. And they was calling Mark Deasy all type of shit, like parasocial. They called him a bitch. Like, I ain't gonna lie, they was spazzing on Mark Deasy for kind of hiding his hand in this whole thing after being involved, like I said. Now, that was pretty much the gist of the entire ordeal that happened. But Lucky Zeal was like, listen, you're not going to have to fight me over this. You're going to have to fight NetEase. Now, NetEase, obviously the owners of Marvel Rivals, they also host tournaments and have a partnership program with a lot of these creators. But when you're partnered with a company like that, whether it's Valorant, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, and you're getting invited to like creator tournaments and shit like that, that's their own money being used and being pulled together for, you know, the community, the last thing you want to be known as is a thrower. And I've been around content creators and esports like a long time, and I will say this, it can fuck with you, bro. Sorry, Entei was saying that NetEase is perfectly fine with him. This isn't going to matter. And I would personally not be too sure about that. Thankfully, this isn't a NetEase run tournament, so he does have maybe a little bit more leeway with what happened, especially now that he's pretty much denied it all. I saw some people saying he should have just walked in there and owned up to throwing, which would have been honestly a way worse situation for Entei than just denying it all. But if NetEase sees this as problematic, it could affect Entei and very possibly Mark Deezy's ability to get into NetEase owned and ran tournaments or events. But after that, there was not too much else to be said. You know, it seemed like he got caught. The call kind of dispersed because the argument had no other way to go on. It was just going to go in circles, gang.
Mutual.
Anyway, so
Mutual.
I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna let my dick hang.
Pushing
And
this.
you're out some grass. And that he's just gonna fucking mow it. All right, I'll catch you boys. Laters. Peace out. Laters.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Boy, that nigga came there and dropped this nuts on. Oh my god, yo, I didn't know he was gonna come through crazy like that. Why?
Fuck a lot. Look, Entei, if you on my chat right now,
You dude.
you got bitched.
You
man
did
to man.
bad. Like it was bad.
Because you was yelling in the beginning, you was calling them bitches, all that shit. As soon as you said bring up the DMs, you were quiet as fuck.
Yeah.
You can't do that, bro. You gotta keep the
You
energy.
gotta- you just gotta keep-
energy from the beginning, bro.
If you already know you're wrong, even if you don't think you're wrong, nigga, just keep spazzing.
Like we had
Even
the
if
first
you get
quarter.
caught-
Like,
And the community is really not fucking with Entei right now like that. I'm gonna be honest. But to be fair, recently he already had some other drama going on because he was playing Blade with a 7% win rate in ranked and then was going on TikTok talking about how people suck at the game and shit, even though he was running down niggas ranked games and they were getting mad about that. I mean, I literally just tried to search his name on TikTok. I saw Entei 7% win rate, Entei X Boo Boo. I didn't see anything good. Like he literally went 1-13 in somebody's game and then made a TikTok about how people are bad at swapping off their characters to win the game, which is obviously fucking ironic. I just can't lie. It's just obviously ironic. But yeah, Entei, honestly, I can't, bro. Like, I can't even sit here and act like this whole thing isn't funny. I don't personally hate Entei. I have no reason to. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. But honestly, there isn't too much else to say. This whole freaking beef was just hilarious and just dumb. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I usually don't make drama videos, but when it comes to Marvel Rivals specifically, it's always just funny, bro. It's just always so funny. How do I get in the community? Can I get in? Like, my PC not strong enough to stream that shit? Man, whatever, bro. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like, comment, and let me know your thoughts on this situation. Honestly, I just think it's funny. Subscribe if you enjoyed, because I'll make some more if there's any more drama going on. I like being around the Valorant, Marvel Rival space, or just esports space in general, just talking about tournaments, or just, you know, talking about competitive games in general, because that's what I grew up on, and you know, that's me. If that's you, then come check me out. My Twitch, sauce_, same way you spell it in my YouTube username. I'm gonna catch you boys later. Appreciate you watching, and peace.